Hey guys, it's Roxanne from RoxanneLynch.com. Hey, how's it going in your neck of the woods today? Okay, let's talk about burnout. Have you ever felt overwhelmed? Have you ever been to the point of frustration? Have you been to the point of calling it quits? Have you just had it up to here and you're just burned out? You have just had it, okay? So let's share a little bit about burnout and how we can, number one, avoid it, and some tips and solutions, like I say, always to keep us to the sunny side of life, okay? You guys know that my name is Roxanne Lynch. I live way up here in Canada, West Central Alberta, to be a fact. But this is what I love to do. I love popping into your guys' world, sharing some tips and some solutions, some ideas, some inspiration, some different ways of thinking about things that are happening in our lives, whether it's to do with network marketing, sometimes a little bit about life, just a little bit about everything, because network marketing and building a home-based business is a lot more than just tips and tricks on prospecting and following up and stuff. It's day-to-day stuff, right? And burnout and fatigue is definitely one of them. So whether you're within my amazing team of social retail or your own beloved business, these are some pretty amazing tips. So you might want to tag a friend if you know that they've been feeling a little bit of network marketing fatigue, been struggling in their MLM, and they're at the point of burnout, or even share this to your team page. Sharing is caring. So the first of all is we have to understand that burnout can happen to us all, okay? I know as a middle management corporate woman, I was definitely to the point of fatigue and burnout. And every time that I thought that I was done one of my manager's to-do list, I had another to-do list. They had given me more projects, or more things to do that were just adding to my list without taking anything off. Okay, I was definitely fatigued and burned out, and that so it can happen to waitresses. They can be burned out, over busy seasons, or getting ready, or stylists. I know some amazing hairstylists out there, and they're absolutely beat, due to the amount of workload coming into the holiday season and making women feel and look amazing. How about definitely our other, business type consultants and different strategists, and even physical athletes can have burnout and fatigue. So this just isn't a network marketing thing. And some of these tips that I'm going to share with you are definitely not just MLM and home-based business direct marketing kind of tips and solutions. These are life solutions. Okay. So, I really want to share some of these things. So, because we have this idea of a network marketing business that we need to get started, and we have to push hard, and we have to go. But we also know that that's not maintainable, right? Even as a physical athlete getting ready for the Olympics, that they have a season that they're working themselves up to, and then an end date, okay? For us within network marketing, our end date, they say is anywhere from 3 to 5 years, if you're plugged in with some certain systems and some people. So understanding that it's a long haul game. This isn't a scratch and win mentality. This isn't a quick rich scheme to get financially free. There's we have lots of different ideas of what we expect network marketing to do for us, but we have to understand that this is long term. And most of us don't come into this industry having all the skill sets, having all the knowledge, having all the talents and strengths, and just the how-to in our brains to do that. That's why doctors go to school for this long, or lawyers go to school for this long. When it comes to being successful on social media within network marketing, it's going to take a while. And so I want to share with you some tips to kind of reduce your burnout, but also use your flip side mentality, girls. Use your flip side mentality of saying, okay, if this is how to avoid burnout, some of these things can be flipped into daily do's, which we should be doing within our business. So the first concept that we can wrap our minds around is that we're going to have periods of different intensity. Our businesses run, just like the seasons, like a roller coaster. Things go up and things go down. We have to expect that. There's cycle activities that we're going to have within our business. Sometimes we are going to have goal strategization, which is, going to be a little bit different. But there's also emotional times of activities. There's probably sometimes a couple days of the month where you probably don't feel like doing anything. Okay, just being honest, just putting that out there for our emotional wellness also. There's periods of different intensities. So we have to plan for that. And, number 2, don't beat yourself up for that, because that is totally normal. Tip number 2, before we really get into the meat and bones, is we have to have a backup for the bad days, okay? So a backup for when you're sick, or when you have holidays, or maybe if you have like something family, like a family emergency or a family tragedy, we should have kind of a backup plan. A business owner, if they're taking their business seriously, would have a backup plan. Like, what do you do if you're sick? Like, what is your baseline minimum activity? Maybe you should plan to store some articles or content ideas or posts. So when you're sick, or you're, like yesterday, my day just ran away with me. I did not get back to social media really after I did my morning affirmation. Nothing happened. I wasn't there. So, that's a sign where I could have maybe had a backup plan. So if I did have a minute or two, I could have maybe posted something of value and goodness. So maybe I could have shared something from my YouTube channel, or maybe I could have shared something from my blog, right, at roxannelynch.com, and you guys know how to search in YouTube and find me. So maybe I could have posted something like that. But in the same token, I know that Facebook doesn't like external links. So why post something? So I didn't. Anyway, so have a backup plan of when your life goes sideways, okay, is what I'm trying to share. So let's get into the real meat and bones of how to, really pay attention to what's going on within our body, our internal wellness and emotional state, our friends and our family, our job, everything else that's going around with this, but also, of course, how we're going to be working our business on social media. So the very first thing is we have to remember, and I talked a little bit about this at the beginning, is remember this is a long game plan. You're going to have good days and bad days, just like we have in financial situations, relationships, or jobs, for the long run. We're here for the long run. And I expect to have some days that go sideways. That's going to be normal, okay? So expect to, to have some trials and tribulations and struggles. Know that we're here for the long run, and, forget about the immediate scratch and win profits. Really look for the long-term goal, and really get yourself used to that. Always have your why you really wanted to do this to begin with in your back pocket at any given time, so you can use that as emotional fuel. So when you do get off track for a day or two, you have something to pull you back into the game, right? So systems are absolutely imperative in today's busy world, so you don't get that fatigue, so you don't get that burnout. I love, within social retail, we have an ATM system, which really allows our whole community to help me with my prospecting and follow-up process, because you know what? I know that I'm crazy busy, just like you. So I need systems. I need the systems and tools to work for me when I can't be working, right? I mean, it's only real. We have to have the right systems and the right tools, and the right team and tribe in place, so they're helping us along the way. So I really think that that's important, that we can never forget that the systems, and having a solid system in our back pocket that is working for us and our behalf when we're busy, or when we're sleeping, or when we're traveling, that is there and is working for us. And I love my ATM system that helps me with my prospecting. It helps me with my follow-up. It helps women stay plugged in. It helps women stay communicated to and fired up, and feeling that they can, pop in and get more educated at any time without necessarily jumping into the business, that they need that time for a system to do the work over time, because most women take a little while to join your business. So don't expect women to jump immediately. Some people need to be exposed multiple times. 5 to 7 times is what the experts say. So my system does that work for me, okay? Making sure that you're taking the time to create new leaders. This is, major tip number 3 is we have to create more leaders, which means sharing responsibilities. And I know for a couple personality types, I know it's going to be hard to share. It's going to be hard to delegate. It's going to be hard to outsource, but you have to for your sanity, okay? A big business, a big corporate owner, or even a small town brick and mortar store has help, okay? They have help. They have strategists. They have people working on their team. They have this woman doing that, and this girl doing this, and this guy over here does that. You have to create more leaders, and that takes conversations to find out from your team, side sisters, same sisters, downline, upline, who knows really great information about what. So maybe you can outsource and delegate and allow them to grow into their leadership position stronger, bigger, braver, and share those responsibilities, because you're going to burn out and you're going to get tired thinking you have to do it all, because we don't, okay? We just simply don't have to do it all, okay? So if you're that type of personality that has a hard time releasing some things, just think that you're going to be able to stay in the business happier, more joyful, longer if you learn how to share a little bit and allow another woman to stand out and shine. Allow her to grow up into her joy and grow into something beautiful and be a stronger team member, because we want to grow leaders, not leaners, right? So that's important. So delegation and outsourcing and creating more leaders and sharing responsibility is a big, hairy deal if you're in network marketing. Okay. Tip number 4 is, where's your focus and time? Okay. Now this one's a tricky one, very definitely, because we know that 20% of your team is probably doing 80% of the work. Okay. Right. 20% of your team is doing 80% of the work. Understanding. So where is your time? A lot of women's time is being spent on the majority of women that aren't doing a lot of the legwork, a lot of in the trenches, a lot of their productivity within your business model. So making sure that you're giving the right people the majority amount of your time. You want to be helping your team, definitely, but you have to be attentive of where you're putting your time. If you're putting the majority of your time into the people that are just, dabbling and having a good time and they just want to do this as a hobby, that's really important. Make sure that they're happy, but don't be encouraging them to grow into something that they don't want to. Or you're going to lose them. You're going to be unhappy and you're just going to push them away. So pour love and time and relationships into the women that, are definitely the majority, hardcore, bigger players that are showing up or trying to, at least proving themselves and going through the actions and going through the motions. And you can see it in their timeline. You can see it in their conversations. You can see it in their prospecting numbers, making sure you're attentive of where you're putting your time. Okay. So positivity, okay? We are stuck around a lot of negative environments sometimes. Sometimes not all of us had joyful work environments. Not all of us have really positive relationships with friends or family or our neighbors. Making sure that we are exposing ourselves to lots of positivity. Sometimes we just have to turn off the news, and sometimes we shouldn't be scrolling our news feeds. If you have a bunch of negative people and drama-filled that are grumpy, maybe you should push that little button that says see less of. Okay, that one's a favorite one of mine. I want to see less of this person because they're negative and they're grumpy, and that doesn't serve me. It doesn't pour positivity into me. It doesn't fill my well, so I can go out and fill other people's wells and help them, grow their businesses or, discover some positivity in their worlds. Okay. This one's kind of a mama bear fact, just reality check, really. If you're feeling burned out, making sure you're giving yourself that business reality check. Okay. There's a lot of women that say that they're in business and they want success and they want sunshine to be coming into their lives. And yet, when I ask them what's going on within their day, they're saying that, I say, you have to make that judgment call. You yourself know if you're spending more time watching television rather than connecting with women. Maybe you would rather be watching kitten and puppy clips rather than conversing with your prospects. Maybe you're busy filling out quizzes and having all those fun games rather than prospecting, or you're just scrolling through Facebook rather than follow-ups. You have to have a really strong look at your productivity checks. Some people say that I work all day on Facebook, and yet I don't see them building new relationships. There's no conversations. There's no fresh content. I can't see them prospecting. They don't have any fresh follow-ups. They're not in learning mode. Okay, so give yourself an honest reality check. That's not for me to judge one way or the other how you want to build your business. But if you're looking at your own personal wants, goals, your hopes and dreams, ask yourself, where is the majority of my time, and what am I really doing? Have you a solid daily method of operation? Do you have a check sheet of what your minimum baseline of physical activities that you're building your business on every day on social media or every week, right? Because everyone has different time slots. So last two tips I have for you guys is definitely making sure that you're staying in learning mode. I can't stress this one enough. When you're in learning mode, it's like an adventure, like you're reading a new book, or you read a blog, you're listening to a video. It's fresh and it's full of adventure, and it's adding new insights and twists within our minds and new perspectives and outlooks. But making sure that obviously within learning mode that you give yourself back to that reality check of, what are you doing within your business for physical activities to help actually make it grow? Because sometimes we can get stuck in learning mode for too long and not in building mode. So learning mode keeps us full of fresh ideas, makes it feel like this is still an adventure and this is fun, and is a must within our business. Never get to the point where you think that you know it all, because sure enough, Facebook is going to change something on us within our business, or something within your own personal business model is going to change. Okay, last tip, honest to goodness, done for tonight, is plan your time out. Okay, and I really mean time out. I mean, when Bob and I go out for dinner, I often leave the phone at home. Sometimes it's by accident, sometimes it's on purpose because I want to get like a cute selfie of him, smelling good and all dressed up. But when you go for dinner, leave your phone at home. Disconnect really to reconnect with yourself, your relationships, your thoughts, your conversations, without hearing your phone go zzz, zzz, or it's vibrating in your purse, and you want to know, right? It's like disconnect totally. When you go on vacation, same thing. It's like, pop on for very short periods of time, maybe share some insights or some lifestyle fun that you're doing, but disconnect, like really take your time out, unplug. I know after this live video, Bob and I, we have got plans, so I'm going to be unplugged for the rest of the evening. I promise I'll come back and say hi to you guys tomorrow, but make sure that you really unplug as much as possible to really have those fresh insights of inspiration. It's hard to have fresh, real insights to be able to push away the fatigue and the feelings of burnout if we're so inundated and stimulated by social media, by our news feed, or YouTube, or just whatever's going on in your world. Disconnect electronics as often as you can to rejuvenate yourself, refresh. Grab a journal, grab a pen, and just read a book and doodle a little bit. Allow yourself to push away that feelings of fatigue. Rejoice in taking some time for you because you are worthy. Okay, so those are my ideas for tonight. Definitely, if you knew of a friend that could probably use these ideas, sharing is caring. Tag them to my video, share the video to your Facebook group, and definitely, this is what I love to do. If you're really banging your head in the past with direct sales or MLM, home-based businesses, marketing, reach out to me and ask me what the heck is going on within social retail. It's not your mom and pop MLM, and you deserve to be in the know of what is going on out there that is so very different than the regular stuff, and why I fell in love with the industry all over again. Okay, so you guys have a fabulous evening, and I look forward to chatting with you guys and gals all tomorrow on the sunny side of life. Bye guys.